testosterone, we have a problem.
This is Outside the Manosphere, where two guys with zero credentials dive past the cliches of masculinity and try and become better friends by actually talking to each other. It's weirdly hard, but we're doing it anyway. Join us.
Welcome to Outside the Manosphere. My name is Carlos.
And I'm Skip.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays to you, Skip.
Oh, thank you. And Merry Czech Christmas to you.
Hey, Merry Canadian Christmas to you.
Oh, did they do it on the 24th?
They don't, but we do.
Okay.
Because it's a hybrid Czech family over here.
I was going to ask about that if you guys were doing it on the 24th.
Yeah, they do it. Well, it's kind of a mix because I just don't give a shit about Christmas, but my brother and sister-in-law.
That's the spirit.
Yeah. But my brother and sister-in-law do, and they're from a classically a white Canadian upbringing, so they do it on the 25th, like most North Americans do. But but Jody and her family does it all. They've always done it on the 24th. What's going on with you, man?
Well, not a lot, but I did start PT, so that is really nice. That's physiotherapy for my sciatica, and it's kind of hit and miss, but I've seen movement and change, so that's really nice.
That's good.
So I feel like the lady let me know, we're going to try some different things, and I guess she's like, normally people are on one of two paths, and you're right in the middle, so you could go either way. So we're trying one thing, and it helped my sciatica, but hurt my sciatica on the other side. So I go in again in a couple days, and hopefully we fine tune this thing. And
so you haven't had pain on the other side, and now you are?
Yeah. So every time I've gone into the doctor or the physiotherapist or anything, they always ask me, do you have any shooting pains down your leg? And I'm like, oh no, that doesn't sound pleasant at all. And so now I usually wake up in a lot of pain, and now I'm waking up with less pain, but I'm getting shooting electric pains down my other leg. So something that's fixing the one side is messing up the other side. So that's cool. But I mean, it's movement, and I have faith that with a professional that I'm going to start to get some relief, which is really nice.
Hey, so let me just plant this seed right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fully expecting in the spirit of positive energy and all that stuff, that this PT is going to work for you, and you're going to be, dancing around, no problem. But
yeah,
in the event that it's not as effective as you'd hoped, energy work, and I'm just going to leave that right there. I'm going to leave that right there. I'm certain there are energy workers. I'm 100% sure there are energy workers in the Czech Republic, and I'm just going to leave that right there for you. It's something. It is something.
Well, fittingly, part of my physiotherapy is being lightly electrocuted.
Oh, really?
So I'm getting literal energy work. Yeah.
We're talking classical energy here. I'm referring more to the woo-woo type, but that works.
Yeah. No, they're hooking up the little electrodes to my back and making it go and vibrating for 15 minutes, and yeah.
And that tenses your muscles there, yeah?
Yeah, it should. But it just kind of I don't tell that it's tensing up so much. I've had it done elsewhere, where when I was a kid, I went to a chiropractor, and they put things on your neck and it tightened the neck, and then they left me alone one time with the knob, and I turned it up, and I was like, ah! And my neck was my head was welded to my shoulder, and I had to find the knob without being able to look to turn it down. Really just lawsuit level neglect.
That is so funny, man. If I had to practice, that's exactly, I would set up cameras. I'm like, okay, we're going to leave this kid here with the big red button and see what happens.
So in any case, yeah, you should do that to muscles. I'm not sure if it's even I'm not sure exactly what it's on, but it just kind of tingles.
Okay.
It just kind of tingles, and it's all right. It feels all right. Yeah.
Well, cool. Well, I hope it's effective and that you'll find some real relief soon.
Yeah.
because that does
Well,
not sound like a good time having constant pain in your body.
it's getting slowly better, and I'm, learning how to live with it. But yeah, it'd be nice if it was just gone. That's what I want for Christmas.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
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 That's what you're asking baby Jesus for.
Yeah. So what do y'all do for Christmas, or you just don't care? You're just like, I'm along for the ride. Give me some food. And
So I'm gonna present to you a bah humbug moment of mine.
Okay.
So I have been anti-Christmas for the majority of my adult life. And I remember when I first met Jody, she was not like she liked Christmas and still kind of like agnostic in her beliefs and this kind of thing. And I will own that I feel like I've killed a little part of her because she doesn't not care about Christmas now, but like that excitement is definitely gone. And she's far more non-believing of anything than she was before. And I don't regret that, but like I do feel like I influenced her in a really, really big way for that. So a few years ago, with my little transformation of like not being a fucking miserable douchebag anymore, I picked up like a plastic, a ready to assemble tree that you still got to decorate. It's not like some of these trees have like they're already wired with lights and stuff, but this one you got to put everything on. So I'd bought like a Christmas tree, and for the past 3 years, I've assembled it. I've decorated it myself, like trying to get her like interested and like and she's not interested. She just like isn't organized enough to like really participate. So I've bitched about it for the past 3 years. Like, hey, I'm the only one decorating this damn tree, and I got this for us, and like and so this year I'm like, all right, if you want this tree up, you gotta put it up and you gotta decorate it. And so right now it's up. There's one ornament that we just bought. There's one
you
ornament on it.
weaponized incompetence her.
I did. But what's funny though is like when she had texted me when I was at work, she's like, "Hey, where's the Christmas tree?" I'm like, "Oh, it's in the basement." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, "Oh, she's doing it. She's setting it all up." And so when I got home, the tree was set up, no lights or anything, and she put all of her macrame ornaments on it for like a photo shoot for her Instagram for her macrame page. I'm like, "Oh, this wasn't about Christmas. This is about your commerce." So
This was
yeah,
about capitalism all along.
and since she's since then taken all of her ornaments down for her shows and stuff, and now it's just a lifeless plastic tree with one ornament that we bought. I'm like, all right, it's gonna sit there. I'm not gonna decorate this damn thing. So we're gonna see where it goes this Christmas. But yeah, so to answer your question, we don't really do a lot. We've agreed not to get each other anything for Christmas this year because we just bought like a TV because we just needed one. And that's our Christmas gift, like to ourselves. And
That's fitting, yeah.
yeah. It was. I mean, it was more than I didn't want to spend on a television, but like whatever, like we did, and that's our gift to ourselves. And her birthday's right before Christmas, and my birthday's right after Christmas.
Right after Christmas.
So it's like,
I know
the
deal, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just kind of doing birthdays. You know what I mean? Like that's what if we're gonna do gift exchanges, it's gonna be for our birthdays. So yeah, that's kind of what our Christmas game's all about this year. What about you? What are you guys doing?
We do the kind of normal thing, we got kids, and I am not a believer in anything in particular, but I treat Christmas much like I treat Thanksgiving, which is completely divorced from, or not completely, but mostly divorced from where it came from. And it's just an excuse to get together with people I care about, where there's no work, there's nobody bugging us, and we can just like hang out and eat good food and show each other we care. And like, that's it. I love having an excuse to do that. And like, you don't feel bad. Like you're not impeded by life. You're not like slacking off from work. It's like, this is time set aside to do this. So I still really enjoy the holidays. And I was talking with another buddy online, and not like just through text. And he was like, yeah, with the world falling apart and the US falling apart, like I'm in the Christmas spirit. And like, I know that, and like normally we've had some lean years, but I'm putting Christmas presents under the tree this year because, well, maybe it's like overcompensation or whatever. And it's like, yeah, man, lean into those good things, lean into those nice, happy things. And
for sure.
So yeah, I like it. Yeah. I just like these holidays where you get an excuse to show people you care extra in more than a normal day and not have any of those outside things. And nothing's even open here. So you have to like plan a little bit in advance, and you're all cocooned together. It's lovely.
Well, that's why I think I've said before, like Thanksgiving has always been my favorite holiday because there's no, I mean, you spend some money on like food items and stuff, but like it's not about giving gifts and spending and buying and finding deals and shit like that. And there's no pressure for that. You just go, you show up, if it's potluck, you bring food or you make food at home and you just spend time with people and you eat and you're merry and in our family, at least in Texas, that would last for hours and it was always extended. There'd be like the door would be open, whether it be at my mother's house or my sister's house or wherever. But like it'd kind of be an all day affair where people would just be kind of streaming in and out, and they weren't always family. They were family friends or just friends or whatever. Yeah, I really really like that. It was nice, and if you're
Yeah.
around for the majority of the day, it's just like I don't know, it's just fun. It's just nice, and it's just
Yeah.
it's pleasant and it's comforting and yeah, I don't know. I like that. That's why Thanksgiving's always been my favorite. But and it's same thing with Christmas though, and that's the aspect that I like as well, where it's just like I won't say family, but it is it's family, and it's just people that you care about that are around.
Yeah. Found
And-
family.
Found family. Yeah, yeah.
So have you gotten the package I sent yet?
The package has arrived, not at my house though. So the thing is, like the day before, I got a notification that it was out for delivery, and I'm like, oh shit, because you had sent it to my old address, which we still own.
Because I'm a goober. Yeah.
No, it's okay. We still own the property, and I was like, oh, it's no big deal because we have our mail forwarded, but it's not being delivered through the postal service. It's being delivered through a courier service, and so I was like, oh shit, that's not going to get forwarded. And I don't know how they would deliver it because it's like on property and that property is like chained off. Like, I don't know how they would deliver it. So I went on their website and I found that there's a way to like change the address. And so anyway,
I did tell you that I could do that at the time.
I thought it was going through post. So I was like, that's no big deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, so long story short is I contacted them and they set it up to where I have to go pick it up. So but it's about an hour away. Which is not a big deal. I go there all the time for work anyway,
Okay.
but like and I go there like when we need to go do like some real shopping. So I got to get there anyway. So that's where it's at, and I just got to go pick it up now. So that's I don't think we've talked about it, but this is a something or another that Skip has sent to me in the spirit of Christmas. So I just gotta go get it and then put it under the tree in its form, whatever form it's arrived in, and wait anxiously for Christmas Eve. And I'll crack that baby open and have a look inside.
I'm trying to be a little bit better this year about Christmas and reach out. Like, I'm not getting everybody that I talk to everywhere something, but like I'm trying to like at least rekindle, trying to talk to people every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like yesterday I reached out to a bunch of people online and was just like, how's it going?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's nice. But giving some people some gifts is part of that. And you did, after all, send me a lovely poster from Austin. So I'm behind. I'm behind.
Well, I will say, like, as a recipient of a gift from you guys several years ago, after we maybe our first year after we left the Czech Republic, that sort of gesture, man, is really, really impactful. And I know we never reciprocated because we're just assholes, but like, it's a really touching thing to do, and it I don't know, it's warmed my heart then. I think about it now, and I'm like, man, that was really fucking nice. And honestly, like, I don't know that I'm not thoughtful like that. I am thoughtful, but like within like a radius, you know what I mean? Like, I got to see you on a regular basis to like think of you enough to be like, oh, this. Yeah. Which I think that sort of gesture was a direct influence over me getting you a souvenir from Austin when I was down there. I'm like, oh, I thought of you. And I'm like, Skip would like this. And so, yeah, it's an impactful thing. So I encourage you to be doing that to your friends because you and all the people listening, because it means something.
I appreciate that.
And that said, I didn't get you anything this Christmas, but I did get you an Austin souvenir. So
you totally did.
That's kind of my gift giving thing. Is I really do enjoy giving gifts, but it has to be meaningful and it has to be like unprompted, I think. But that's my stick in the mud thoughts on gifts.
I also love a good unprompted gift. It's real nice to just like hit somebody when they're least expecting it, because it's just like, man, it's like magical. Takes them right out of their normal kind of mundane stuff and is like, wow, somebody was thinking about me, and this is something thoughtful and specific to me. It's not like you sent me, a gift card for Kroger's. or whatever. Oh, yes, I eat. How thoughtful. I mean, which is nice. I would love a gift card for a grocery store. But, like something nice and specific is,
Right.
I do
It's
like
meaningful. It's meaningful.
Yeah. That said, I'm not getting you anything for your birthday.
Well,
And
fine.
since our birthdays are one day apart, and I'm assuming you're not getting me anything.
No, unfortunately, I
this is-
haven't got any plans, but
Yeah.
I'm giving you an email or a message.
Oh. Well, I was actually going to get you and Jody a Christmas present together, but then I decided I just was sending you something. So sorry, Jody.
Too bad. So sad.
Yeah, I had something on the list, but it got crossed off, and yeah.
Get your own bestie, Jody. And she doesn't listen to this podcast because that's the kind of support I'm receiving in this house. So I can say whatever I want to her.
Yeah, Jess always listens to this one, but she won't listen to it if I'm home because that's weird.
Oh, really? So it's a problem for you or for her?
No, it's a problem for her. She thinks
funny.
it's weird to listen to it if I'm home.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right, yeah.
I think it's weird to record when Jody can hear me. I don't like it. But I admire that you've got your family like bouncing around when you're recording sometimes. Like, wow, he's really comfortable.
Yeah, so in the spirit of Christmas and giving, I wanted to bring up something I think that's in the vein of our Man of the Week or Look for the Helpers, which is something that Batman has done. And we of course expect Batman to do good things, right? But this is actually Christian Bale. And I will preface this by saying I know people that have met Christian Bale, and I've heard one of my favorite stories about when he was filming Batman was Gary Oldman and Morgan Freeman in an interview talking about who had it worse having to spend more time with Christian Bale.
Whoa.
And because he was such a miserable guy. But even people that are just kind of like really grating, I think, have those personalities. They can still try and do good things, and they can still improve and apologize. And he has apologized for some of his behavior in the past. And one of the things that I thought was really cool, because I don't feel like I've seen this publicized a lot, is that he's started a foundation that's building an entire neighborhood. It's like $22 million project to keep foster siblings together, because that's a really big problem in the foster world, is that kids get separated because there's only so much room here, or people age out different areas. And I just thought that was a really cool thing, especially for Batman, who is himself an orphan, I
was like Christian Bale.
Batman,
No, I got it. Yeah.
But I thought, like, even if I don't want to know the guy because he sounds like hard to get along with, that's a tremendous kind of amazing thing to do. And it's really nice. And I feel like it's on more of the down low side as far as celebrity things. And it's like something he started with, I think, his sister. That's a pretty great thing.
Yeah, you had proposed this to me, and right away I was like, yeah, Christian Bale. And I kind of left that guy behind. In fact, you keep calling him Batman. I'm like, he's not Batman. He is Batman. But my Batman is Michael Keaton, right? Like, that's the one.
Oh,
that's where I just fell in love with comic books. It was in '89. But you had proposed Christian Bale as sort of the Man of the Week, and I agree with you. What he's done is I haven't looked into it. Just all based on what you've told me. That's fabulous.
Yes.
I mean, that is amazing. To be putting your resources into something like that is amazing. And I guess I don't really have a lot to add, because as soon as you proposed him, I doubled down and went into all the fucking negative shit that I could find about Christian Bale as sort of like a counter, and like, well, Skip, are you sure? So I'm going to counter this Man of the Week with you, Skip, as Man of the Week, because you have taken this thing that I immediately twisted into something negative and convinced me otherwise. You said, he's a known dickwad. However, look what he's done. And he is trying to be better, and he's done this wonderful thing. And I appreciate you pointing that out to me, because right away I was like, no, kill that guy. And I don't like thinking that way. And I generally don't think that way, but I was doing exactly what I say other people need to change. And you reminded me of that. So I think that's a wonderful, wonderful outcome of this Man of the Week segment.
Well, you had also sent me just right around the same time that I was looking at this, something about MCA
Right,
from
right.
the Beastie Boys. And it
Yeah.
was kind of a similar thing. And I mean, I don't know as much about him probably as you do.
So I don't know. I'm not a huge Beastie Boys fan. Like
Yeah.
everything I've ever heard of theirs, I've always appreciated. I've always
Yeah.
liked. But this guy, MCA, and I forget his real name. I can't pronounce his real name. It's a Yacher, Yacher. I'm
Youcher,
not
I
sure.
think.
Yeah, something
I
like
don't know.
that. He's passed
We're
away. I
very
think.
cool.
Yeah, we're super cool. But he passed away in like 2012, and of some kind of cancer. I'm not sure what kind. But before he died, he had this sort of spiritual awakening in the tradition of Tibetan Buddhism. And what I found to be, maybe we'll link to the article that I'd sent you. What I found to be so just touching and just amazing. So the Beastie Boys, if you know any of their music, they're super They were super misogynistic. They're like a lot of like they have a song called "Girls," and it's a catchy little tune, but it's like man, just objectifying women. And their music, they were super popular in the '80s and the early '90s and ongoing. And this guy MCA, his persona anyway, MCA, when he discovered spirituality, he shifted the band into like it's in his lyric in the rapping, like into his lyrics and stuff about like I think one of them was how I got to respect women and this and that, and not just his sort of change of heart and sort of a shift in ideas and ways of being, but the band shifted with him. Like to me, that was just. It was just amazing, man. Like, how tight were those guys that they were like, yeah, we want to still keep, rapping about bitches and hoes and shit like that. And like, I don't think it said hoes or bitches, but you know what I mean? The fact that they went from like, yeah, okay, well, we're going to come with you on this sort of thing. And their music wasn't solely spiritual after that. In fact, most of it wasn't, but it was the fact that they were entertaining this radical shift. In perspective. I don't know. It says a lot to me about all three guys. And, yeah, I'd found that to be. I'm very late to this realization. I don't know what came up on Facebook or something, and I clicked on it. But it's a very old article. It's like more than 10 years old, but it was new to me, and I thought that was a cool thing, and I sent it to you. So that was my kind of man of the week thing as well.
Well, it's one of those synchronicities where we're both looking at people that were pretty shitty in some ways.
Yeah.
That like there's kind of a redemptive arc.
Right.
And trying to be better people and or doing good things instead of maybe continuing to be kind of shitty sometimes.
Right. Yeah.
But like, and what better thing for the season than that redemptive arc? And then I also brought up the Batman effect, which I personally love. And this is like a really recent quasi experimental study. And I sent this to you a little bit, but where a researcher would pose, and this was done in Milan, as a pregnant woman and get onto a metro. And then the experimental case, so there was two cases where nobody got on with her, or where a separate researcher got on somewhere in the metro car dressed as Batman, completely unconnected to her as far as anybody knew. And they found that when Batman was present on the metro, people were more likely to give up, like significantly more likely to give up their seat to a pregnant woman. So
yeah.
The presence of Batman was something that, helped people be a better person. And that ties into this a little bit too. And I thought because of Christian Bale and all that.
Yeah. I read the abstract for that, and I can't remember the exact wording of their conclusions, but it was something along the lines of like the presence of something abnormal.
They said something unexpected event.
Yeah. So I wonder if like somebody dresses Big Bird, because I was thinking about it. I'm like, okay, if somebody was dressed as something ridiculous other than Batman, because Batman's kind of a menacing presence, would it have the same effect? I don't know.
I agree, because Jess thought about like if they had gotten on dressed as the Joker.
Yeah.
Would it have the same effect? And I thought, because I've got like some little background. I thought that it was a weird thing to say unexpected, because there's also like a priming effect. Like if you see Batman, then like you have all these associations with Batman about like doing good and heroism and things like that. Yeah. So like it might kind of like prime you to be thinking about doing the right thing. And it would be interesting to see like if it's just a weird event, or if people dressed up as like is Superman, does he make it people even more likely to get up? Or or if it's the Joker, do people move away from the Joker? And I don't know.
And there's so many variables, and I'm sure it's addressed in the
Yeah.
study. Like, where was he sitting down? Was he reading a newspaper? Did he have a shopping bag? Like, was he facing the pregnant woman? Was he like far away? Was he close? Like, I don't know. There's so many variables to that kind of thing. But I don't know. Interesting little social experiment.
It was. And one of the interesting things was there was it's like 44% of the people that offered their seat to the woman said they didn't even know that Batman was there, which is so fitting.
Yeah, he's in the shadows.
But somehow that, just him being there, they felt like maybe subconsciously they picked up on it or something and got up. But I just thought it's very funny. It's very new research. It's from this year. And I can't wait for a bevy of follow-up studies to come out doing all kinds of crazy shit on metros. I'm just looking forward to this so much over the next few years.
Hey, the world will be a better place if everyone's just in costume.
No. Vengeance.
Well, Skip, are you ready to fall in love?
Always.
This is a vulnerable question. And this is from the ongoing 36 Questions to Fall in Love that we snagged from the New York Times. This was published maybe, what was it? 12 years ago, something like that?
I think it just did the 10-year anniversary earlier this year.
Still relevant.
Yeah.
So the question is, probably out of order, if this is a Christmas episode, so I'm not quite sure when we're dropping this, how close to Christmas, but the question is, when did you last cry in front of another person and by yourself?
You know what? I'm having a hard time, having a little bit of a hard time remembering this. I'm not a big crier. And I'm sure that I have. I mean, I have. I just, I don't know that I've like jotted it down in my memory.
Right.
If I really had to guess, the last time I cried in front of somebody, it was probably watching like the Little Prince movie with my family and like not like bawling, but like little manly single tears coming down quietly, just silently. So that's probably the last time I cried. And gosh, by myself, I don't know. I'm not a bit like, that's like, if I'm crying, it's usually because I'm watching a movie I really love.
But no shower moments for you, just kind of like curled up.
No, or it's because like I'm talking with somebody and sharing something, vulnerable or emotional, and like I don't try and hold back so much in those situations. But I'm not like an ugly crier. It's more like some tears are just rolling down the face. I wish I had a better answer for this one, but I don't think I do. I can't remember crying by myself. I don't know. It's just not, nothing wrong with doing it. It's just not how I process things. It's like, if I'm feeling bad, I just kind of like, I don't know. I feel bad.
I get that. Sounds like you got to build up of toxins, Skip, because when you cry, you let all that out.
Yeah.
And it's a cathartic feeling to cry. I've found when I have.
So when was the last time you cried in front of another person or by yourself and by yourself? Yeah.
So the last time that I cried in front of another person was probably, so I'm not a crier either. Like I don't know. Like, I don't think that's a positive thing. I think to cry is to release like some negativity that's been pent up in your body. But the last time that I can remember crying was maybe 3 years ago. And I'll be brief with this story. But I had a dream. I've told you this, my tragic little lost stories of like the young lady that I had a relationship with and she died in 2002. It was very long time ago. It took me a very long time to get over it. Lot of crying back then. But anyway, so it'd been years and years and years since I cried. But I had a dream about her. This was about 3 years ago. And I always want dreams. Even now, I still want dreams about her, and because I always feel like it's like a woo thing, and like it's a visitation dream, that kind of thing. And throughout the years, I would have them, but I was like, well, that wasn't a visitation. That was just like a brain chemistry thing that I dreamt of her. But this one, I remember in the dream, and I won't go into detail because it's who wants to hear dreams, but the crux of it was what woke me up was I was given a shirt of hers and that belonged to her, and I put it to my face and I smelled it. And it was, I could smell her, and it was such a powerful sense of like her presence that like in the dream, I was like not sobbing, but like literally choked up where I couldn't even breathe. I was crying, like bawling, crying in my dream, but not crying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I woke myself up with that sort of feeling, and I wasn't crying. And I woke up and I wrote down the dream because I was doing that at the time. And I was telling Jody about it. I was like, wow, this is a powerful dream. And I was telling her all about the dream. And in short, the dream that I analyzed, like I didn't even analyze it. Like I knew what the dream was. And as I was telling her what it was, I was like, this was a dream that it was the last dream that she was coming to me. Because I do regard this as a visitation dream. She was sending a message to me that this is the last, and I'm going to try not to choke up saying it now. And I'm also experiencing some emotional stuff that I'm going to get to later on in the show, actually.
Okay.
But anyways, in the dream, it was the last dream that she was telling me that I'm not coming back. This is my last dream to you because I'm coming back as a reincarnated person now. Like this is the last dream I'll be visiting you because I'm reincarnating. And so as I was telling that to Jody, I was unprepared for it, but I just burst into tears. And I was just sobbing for like, I don't know, a few minutes, so quite a while. Yeah. And she was great. She was just there kind of sitting in the dark, just rubbing my back. And she didn't say anything. She wasn't, she was just a nice presence for me. But yeah, man, it was a really, really emotional moment for me. And that was the first time. We'd been together for 10 years at that point. This was the first time she'd ever seen me cry. And boy, I cried, and it was ugly crying because that's just when I do cry, like it's pent up for years and years and years, and it comes out, and it's ugly. So that was the last time. The last time I cried by myself, I don't know. Like I don't cry by myself. I've had in the past day, I've had a couple like single manly tears as well because a family friend passed away.
I'm sorry, man.
Day before yesterday, and he meant a lot to me, and. Give me a second.
Yeah. No, take your time, man.
Anyway, yeah, he was a big part of my life, and yeah, that's all I got.
Okay. Is this somebody that just like was from when you were a kid, or is it somebody that's around now, or?
No, he was actually my dad's best friend growing up. Like they knew each other as children, and I knew I know his kids. I was like best pals with his sons growing up as well. But very much a father figure for me, and it was unexpected. And yeah, I'm gonna need a break to like recoup because this is. And I want to bring it up again because I have another thing to say about it, but I need a moment just to kind of like shake it off. It was a good question.
You know what? And I actually thought of my real answer now.
Okay.
Listening to you. So
you know what? Tell me, because that's the recoup that I need.
Okay. I'm not really looking forward to this. I'll be honest.
You don't have to do it if you don't want to.
No, because it's actually probably the correct answer, and I'd like to. Just give me a second here, because it is several years back. So I can't guarantee that this is the last time, but this feels like it, and it would have been both by myself and with somebody else. Probably would have been by myself and then talking to Jess about it later. Several years back now, my uncle died. And I have a lot of uncles. I have a lot of aunts. And I've got my mom had 7 siblings. My dad had 1 brother who's deceased. My mom only has 1 sister that's deceased. And this man was he was married to one of them, and he'd actually been divorced. So he was like, theoretically we were further apart as time went by, but that wasn't the case, really. Like my dad and him were some of, they were like really good friends, and our families were really close. We kind of like, our two families had a really special bond. And when I was a kid, he terrified me. He was like this big burly guy with a beard, and like he'd tickle, but it hurt. Like he didn't, I don't know if he was, I don't think he was trying to, but like I was scared of him.
Yeah.
But as I grew up, and there was a period of 10 years or so where I didn't speak to my parents for reasons that we won't get into right now, or maybe ever. But he was like largely a connection to my family. And like he had worked in Dresden for a long time, and he'd come like from Dresden. Sometimes when he was working, we'd meet each other. And sometimes when he was back in the US, he'd come for visits. And he was actually planning to come and visit us when he got cancer. He wasn't just to visit us, but to go around Europe and with his wife, which they did periodically. And we'd gone down to visit him at his house in California, and he'd come here to visit. So like our families knew each other. We went to visit him when our little guy was just really young, so he doesn't remember him or anything like that. But he was somebody that I, for many years, felt like a father figure to me as an adult, and somebody I cared about a lot and had a lot of really good associations with. And one of the things that's really painful about when he died is at some point, somehow we had gotten disconnected on Facebook, and I don't think he did it, and I wouldn't have done it. Neither one of us would have done it on purpose, but for some reason, I knew he had started writing my wife, and I was like, that's weird. And I never like looked into it. I didn't even think about it because I was just worse at communicating with people, this is one of the reasons why I've tried to get better over the last few years, because I didn't realize we weren't connected until I found out he was dying, essentially. And I tried to repair, but I tried to like repair that connection a little bit, just like on the Facebook, but it was like too late, and it wasn't a time to butt in, and it was painful because I had let that connection go just because he was far away.
Right.
And I hadn't even investigated why he was writing my wife instead of me.
Right.
And then it was painful because he was just getting kind of to the place where he was retiring. He was like kind of see the world. And he had, no, I'm getting emotional. And this is why I was getting emotional before. He had finally gotten to where he wanted to be, and he had a terrible end. Like he was in pain, he was angry, he was afraid, and like all the worst things, all the things that you wouldn't wish on anyone. And he was such a caring guy. He's one of the people, maybe the person most responsible for my love of science, because I remember him always watching like scientific programs and reading scientific magazines and talking about things. And he was a guy that didn't have like a huge university, background or anything, but his love of just science and science fiction and knowledge was something that, God, it was a big thing. I don't know if I would have even been aware of those things as a kid if he didn't talk about those things. And like he would go backpacking. Like he's the person I associate with taking me on my first backpacking trip, which has been a big like part of my life, is camping and hiking, and like he knew the stars and things that I still aspire to that I don't have.
Right.
And gosh, losing him, it was hard on a personal level because of my failure. It was hard because it was just like so fucking unfair. And thinking about his family, and yeah, so the last time I cried in front of somebody is right now. Yeah, and it happened years ago, and it's still just like it happened. I mean, just about 3 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's one of those things. I told you I had a lot of people that died when I was young that were relatively close to me, and I was really good when I was young about like living for the day. And I was really good about that because I thought I was going to die before I was 18. And then I lived to be 18 and I was like, oh shit, now I got to like prepare for the rest of life. But it's definitely one of those reminders to like, you gotta enjoy things. So like, go have your Christmas and hug your family and be thankful for whatever, enjoy whatever you have to enjoy. Like, yeah, you never know. You don't need to think about that part, but you do need to think about like loving those people and enjoying what you can out of it. Like,
You do, and I want to add something to that, and I don't want this to sound like I'm rubbing salt in your wound or anything, because I have the same regret. This man that passed away, he was the second family friend of the family that passed away in the past 2 years, and the first one, man, I was always like, I gotta call Scott, I gotta call Scott, I gotta call Scott. And, he called me on my birthday, and I'm like, I gotta call him back, and I didn't call him back, and
Yeah.
he meant so much to me as well, and he passed away before I could say anything to him. And same thing with this guy, man. I was always like, I gotta call him, I gotta call him. I'm friends with his son on Facebook, and I verified his phone number. He's like, oh yeah, call him. It would make his day. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him. I'm gonna call him. Never called him, man. And haven't talked to him in a very, very long time. And yeah, so the thing I want to add to that is make your phone calls. You know what I mean? Like, do that and enjoy them, because you never know. You just never know what's going to happen. And it's not a regret that should be carried around. And you should let it go too, Skip, and process it. And it's, these things happen, and there's nothing we can do about it, really. But what we can do in advance is change things moving forward. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
And I've fucked up twice, and I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to be making my phone calls when I think I need to call somebody. I'm going to do that, because yeah, I don't like this. I don't like what I'm feeling right now, and I know you don't like what you're feeling either.
No, we just got to think, what would MCA do?
What would MCA? What would Batman do?
What would Batman do? Yeah. And that's the arc, right? Is like seeing the mistakes and trying to make them better.
Yeah.
And trying to do better. And yeah. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas. You know what? I will say though, Skip, and this is something that I think that I have that I think is maybe an advantage, is that so when Scott passed away, right away I went into a meditative technique where I was in like a zone where I was not conscious and I was not unconscious, and I said my piece to him, and I was absolutely fine. And with this man that just passed away day before yesterday, I just haven't had a chance to, because I had to work, and I haven't been able to. But I'm going to do the exact same thing, and it is so freeing, because when Scott passed away, it was just as important of a man as this man that passed away from me, and I was fine. And I need to do that with this, and it's cathartic, and it heals me in a way that I haven't had before. So. Meditation is what I'm trying to get at too. Another little seed that I'm planting for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this was a solid question that I knew was coming at some point.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, thanks for sharing and being vulnerable, because it's not an easy thing to do, and we are face to face, and yeah, it's hard being human.
It can be, yeah. I mean, like, it's a good thing, right? Like, men should be okay crying, and especially for kids and young men. Like I don't want my kid crying about every damn thing.
Right.
That's because at some point it becomes like a manipulative behavior. Like, I know how to get something out of this, but I want them to be able to express their emotions, and when they feel sad, like, not just shove it down and be like, that's unmanly, or I'm not a girl or whatever. Like, it's it's healthy and it's unhealthy not to cry sometime. And like we've both said, we're not big criers, but like, you know, sometimes you got to do that shit.
Sometimes you do, man.
The situation calls for it.
I remember when Valerie died in 2002. I had a girlfriend at the time, I wasn't with Valerie, I had another girlfriend, and boy, she had to like, I mean, the insecurity she felt after that, because I was crying all the fucking time, and I was just like, and like not just crying, I mean like, like sobbing, crying.
Yeah.
And I remember the first day that it happened, the first day that I cried, like the next day, I was like, my eyes were red and like my back was sore, and I'm like, man, I don't know like what's going on. She's like, it hurts to cry. Like that's how infrequently I cry. She's like, it hurts to cry. Like, yeah, my body was like sore from like the just ugly crying that I was doing. So, oh man, what a fucking topic.
Carlos, it is time for my favorite part of the show. What's your joy for the week?
My joy. I've got two joys. And I know we're going from like this sort of heavy topic to joys. Well, I'm bringing it back to the heavy topic, but kind of in a joyful, way. So it's kind of bittersweet for me, but I won't even call it a joy. Just like, I'm glad this happened to me. So, my family friend who passed away, he died day before yesterday, and I woke up at about 6:30 that morning. It's about 2 hours ahead of Texas time. And I woke up because again, this is another dream thing. I was having a dream that Craig, my childhood friend, had died. And I was like and
you've gotten real close with him lately.
Yeah. And I was in a state of like, again, just like the dream that I was describing that made me cry, I was in a state of like emotional, I was feeling it physically. And the physical act of mourning in my dream woke me out of the dream. And I was like, oh my God. And I was like mourning in that moment. And I was like, I got to call Craig. And man, like I've known him since I was a little kid, and like we've grown up together, and he's like my one of my closest friends. And I had just this really worrisome feeling. And a couple hours later, I found out that our family friend passed away. And I was like, oh, well, that's weird that I had that like feeling of, you know, loss and mourning. And then we call him BB. His name was Tony, that BB had died. And, I was telling Jody about it. She's like, oh, that was your dad's childhood friend. I'm like, oh, wow. Like I hadn't connected those dots that like in my dream, my childhood friend had died. And in reality, my father's childhood friend had died. And I went to bed that night with the same sort of mourning. Like I woke up mourning for no reason. And I went to bed actually mourning. So yeah, that was not a joy, but it was an interesting thing that like, I want things like that. I hope for things like that. And when I get them, they're heavy, but I'm glad that they occur. You know what I mean? So that was one. And then the other one is we had another work-related thing, and I won't go into details because it just happened, but I won't say we saved a man's life, but this person was probably not going to survive had we not boogied to the hospital like right away. And the joy was really in seeing my partner, who was my preceptor. She was essentially my teacher when I was still a student. And she's younger than me. She's 29, maybe 30 now. I'm not sure how old she is. Man, it was my call, but boy, I'm glad I was with her because she ran the show, and she was like seemingly in three places at once. And just, I'm so grateful that I was with her and watching her work and seeing her just
skill.
Yeah, man, it was amazing. And then like, this happens every time we bring like an emergency call. Like a serious emergency call, you radio the hospital ahead of time, and just being a part of like, we arrive at the hospital, we're wheeling the person in. There's always a for these kind of emergencies. There's always a corridor of medical professionals like lining the hall as we like rush past them because they're ready to receive the patient, and then they spring to work, and like being a part of like, you know, telling the doctors and the nurses, this is what's happened, this is what we've done, this is where we're at, and then transferring the patient onto the hospital bed, and then like scooting out of there so the transfer of care has been accomplished and they're doing their thing now. Yeah, man, it's really impressive to see all that happen and to see like the teamwork and yeah, I love it. It's really, really nice to be a part of. So that was a joy. I mean, this person survived, and I'm assuming he's doing well. I hope he's doing well. But it was really, really a joy to be a part of that. and to be a part of that team and to help somebody when they called for help, and that's what we brought. And that was a joy. I love it. I don't know how else to describe that
Yeah.
other than it's great.
Yeah. I mean, that's we're always like, since the very beginning, we've been talking about connection, and you have found that, in abundance.
Yeah,
Seems
yeah, I
like.
really have. I mean, it doesn't always happen that way. There's a lot of thumb twiddling in this job,
Right.
but when it happens, man, it's really nice to be a part of. So yeah, those are my joys. Kind of very deeply emotional, I guess, in both cases. But what have you got? What have you got this week?
So, in the theme of bringing things back, whether they be Beastie Boys or Christian Bale or whatever, one of the things that I accidentally stumbled upon, I remembered again this week. I was listening to one of our past episodes, doing the notes for it, and we were talking about taking joy in other people's joy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, there's got to be a name for that. And it made me think of Schadenfreude, which I then said something about it to you, and you didn't know what it was, which is joyful to me, because I remember when somebody in the past has given me this joy, because they said, when somebody hasn't heard of something that you've heard of, you shouldn't be, oh, you haven't heard of that? Because it makes them feel like out of the know.
Yeah.
You should be like, oh man, this is something great that you get to experience for the first time.
I feel exactly the same way.
Yeah. So Schadenfreude is and this is not the joyful thing, but Schadenfreude is taking joy from other people's misery.
Okay.
So like when you were talking about, I think it was Sandra Day O'Connor getting the pie in the face.
Yes. No, it wasn't Sandra Day O'Connor. It was
sorry,
Bryant.
Anita Bryant. Anita Bryant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sandra Day O'Connor's Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah, not her.
Sorry. Yeah, Anita Bryant. And that was pure Schadenfreude. But what we were talking about was the opposite of Schadenfreude, which is joy from other people's success and joy. And so I was like, there's got to be a word for this. And it's apparently Freudenfreude or something like that. So it's like, I don't know German, but it's, they have all these words that don't exist in other languages because they're just conglomerations of other words. And it also made me think of shine theory, which is something my wife had heard of and told me about. And it's something that I'd like to bring forward to us in the podcast, maybe in this new year. And it's just kind of like it started in space for women mostly, because women like have sometimes in relationships to other women been kind of like programmed to be like looked down on other women or something like that. But I think it applies very well to just people in general. And we can go kind of more into the history of it in the future. But it's just like the idea that when I shine, you shine. It's not a zero-sum game. When I win, it doesn't mean you lose.
Yeah.
When I shine, it helps you shine brighter. And it's just kind of this really nice. It's like, instead of it being a competitive game, this life, it's a cooperative game.
Right.
And we're working together, and we're joyful in other people. And it goes deeper, and we can talk about it, but it was fun to find that again and have new things that I think you're going to really enjoy, that like I can bring to the table maybe.
I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, it sounds nice.
And the other thing is that we are expanding our friend circle. I've like been doing this with you for over half a year now. And, I've been trying to connect with people, and this week I got asked out for a dinner, and somebody else, like, we're hanging out more, and we're going to have like a Christmas Eve thing with new people, or not Christmas Eve, a New Year's Eve thing with some new friends. And it's very positive thing. Even though sometimes, like, as an introvert, I'm like, oh my God, now I have to go meet people and do things. but it's like, I know it's good for me, and I'm trying to do those things and have those relationships and connections built, and like have actual physical live people that I don't just call on the phone or write on emails.
Well, that's the key right there, man.
Yeah.
That's the key, because we can all have online lives, yeah, but like having somebody face to face is like much better. You're physically in the same room would be great.
So yeah, we're expanding our friend circle, and that's lovely. We have our New Year's Eve tradition, we always watch The Princess Bride.
Okay.
And so we're going to have a bunch of people over. We're going to watch The Princess Bride. We're going to play some social deduction games and go out and see some fireworks together. That'd be great.
Oh, man. You guys have... Well, that's... One, that sounds amazing. That sounds like a really, really good time. And two, I am experiencing a little bit of jealousy because the Czech Republic, and maybe Prague specifically, has the most amazing fireworks I have ever and probably will ever experience in my entire life.
Yeah, they're bananas. It's
Yeah.
every year they're like, fireworks are illegal again, and then it's, they start at like 6:30 because they just can't. People can't hold their shit. And there's like a steady, like slow trickle. And then once it gets to like just a few minutes before midnight, it's like insanity everywhere you look. All like if you're high up, and you know this because you were with us at one of them from our balcony, which you can see like, half of the city from where we used to live. And just like the entire skyline is fireworks everywhere.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance, the highest point at Vítkov, that was the last New Year's Eve that Jody and I spent in Prague, and it's quite a high point, and it's not in the center of the city, so you can see the city center. And that was... I have a video of it. Maybe I'll post it on our come close to New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. I'll post it on our Outside the Manosphere Facebook page.
Sure.
But it's phenomenal. It's absolutely phenomenal.
I want to ask you one question because I never asked. You asked me what day I would relive.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't. I was like so deep into that day. I want to hear yours. I want to hear what day you'd relive.
What day would I relive? Okay, so I don't know if I'll relive this day, but like it's the first thing that's come to my mind throughout the years, actually. And again, not to change anything, just to sort of experience it again. When I was 20, it was my first experience arriving to Canada, and it was my first sort of realization that I'm a part of a culture, because I've always been American, obviously, but like I've always been Mexican American, and I've always felt very othered my whole life, and then until that moment, I guess. And when I got to Canada, I was 20, and they're like, "Oh, American, he's from the States, and it didn't matter that I was Mexican American. It was just like, no, he's American. And man, for a few years after that, I was super patriotic. I was like, yeah, I'm American. It was just really cool, sort of identity building in my youth. And that wasn't the day. There was no specific day to that. But anyway, so arriving in Canada when I was so young kind of started that. And I've always been introverted. I've always been not antisocial, but not social. And being out like that, I hitchhiked up there.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anybody. And so I was at this hostel for like 3 months because I just really, really dug Vancouver and in British Columbia. And so on the night that I was leaving, the next day I was leaving, everybody from the hostel came out to the pub across the street, and then like the people were buying me beers and they were cheering me, and it was just like, I don't know, man, I'd never had that before, and I felt so like
celebrated.
Yeah, man, it was a really, really nice feeling, and I was just kind of overwhelmed by it, you know what I mean? And I left there just kind of like floating, and so I don't know, I wouldn't mind just kind of being in that sort of like cloud of praise and just to maybe even just to be a fly on the wall, not even to relive it, just to like be a fly on the wall and to see how much I enjoyed that as a young man. That would have been a nice thing. And I thought about that. It was kind of a big moment for me. So to relive a day, I guess that might have been it for me.
That's a nice one. Well, that's what I wish for everybody for Christmas, is to have that feeling.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. And to relax and enjoy your time with your family and not dwell on anything that maybe has been bugging you for any period of time.
And celebrate Carlos.
And celebrate me. That's kind of the focus of this whole episode, I think.
Yeah. Carlos-miss. We got to have Carlos-miss.
I like it. I like it. That sounds, if that were searchable, that could be a title, but since it's not, maybe a subtitle of some kind. All right, everyone. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, whatever you guys do. Enjoy the end of the year, and we'll see you in 2026.
Thank you so much for joining us. New podcasts every Wednesday. And if any part of this show has resonated with you, let us know at outsidethemanosphere@gmail.com. You can also reach us on Instagram, Facebook, and now YouTube. Please like, rate, subscribe to the podcast, YouTube channel, or recommend us to a friend. We hope you'll come back. Have a good one.
Bye-bye now. Well, cool, man. You feel good about that one? Well,
It was emotional. Yeah.
It was emotional, man. You know what? We ended the year with a bang.
Yeah.
I feel that was definitely. I'm glad we did it, man. And that was good. Good getting to know you, Skip.
Good talk.
Good talk.
Makes me a little nervous about question 31.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Do you know what it is?
No. That's what I mean. I don't know. If these are getting more intense, I don't know.